The Los Angeles Clippers are making a trade. They're sending Eric Bledsoe, Justin Winslow, and Keon Johnson, shout out to my Vol for Life brethren, and a future second-round pick to the Portland Trail Blazers for two snipers on the perimeter. Pretty well-known names, household names around the NBA. Norman Powell and Robert Covington are on the move, all right? So that gets me to my video here. Let me let you guys know this. The Portland Trail Blazers are tanking. I just actually looked at the standings out east and west, and I'm looking at the Blazers. It's about 8 or 9 teams that have worse records than Portland right now. And, you know, Portland's been competitive, all things considered. You know, they lose often. They're 12 games under 500, but they compete. When you make a trade like this, you are not trying to compete. Robert Covington, Norman Powell, these are guys that you put in a rotation on the championship team. We've seen Powell do it. Rocco is definitely one of those guys that I believe will one day be a shooter on a championship contending team. Just ain't got the right opportunity. And by the way, when Kawhi and PG get back, if it's next year, whenever, he will be a nice piece to that puzzle. That was a steal for the Clippers in my estimations. That was a giveaway from the Portland Trail Blazers. And I have a theory on why they just gave away shooting, when we all know in this league, shooting is of a premium. You can find an Eric Bledsoe a dime a dozen, right? You can find a Keon Johnson again in the draft at some point. I like Keon. He went to my alma mater, Tennessee. Everybody tells me that one day down the line, he's going to be this really good player. We shall see. The Blazers could find that again. They gave up shooting. You do not give up shooting in this league unless you're trying to lose. And I believe the Portland Trail Blazers are trying to lose. I have a theory. You know, we on this platform have said from the beginning that Damian Lillard, if he were ever to leave Portland, he's going to have to make this game get really ugly. This thing's going to have to get really nasty for the Blazers to move on from him. Keep in mind, the Blazers got it in the middle of an ownership situation, change, whatever you want to call it. You know, the previous owner passed away. It's in the family. It's a lot going on there, right? Damian Lillard is a loyal dude. He don't want it to look like he left Portland when this was the team that gave him a shot coming out of Weber State. He has forever in-depth ties to Portland. Here's the thing. The NBA is a business, all right? This business doesn't love nobody. It's about what can you do for me now, and when you can't do it for me, we move on. Dame doesn't get that yet. And to each his own, Portland has been great to Damian Lillard. Dame has also been great to Portland. Damian Lillard, for the first time, I believe, muddied it up this year. You know, he's had this ab injury. Look, Dame has played through some injuries. I'm not saying that the brother's not injured. I'm just saying I believe if Damian Lillard had to play in the Game 7 of a playoff series tomorrow, I believe he could play. The word around the block is he ain't playing another game this season. Again, I don't know how severe the ab injury is. I know Dame's a hooper and loves to play the game, but the brother's not an all-star this year because he didn't play much this year. And I don't think he's going to play again this season. I believe this is Damian Lillard's way of letting Portland know that I'm unhappy. Let's see what y'all can do without me. I don't know that, but that's my theory. We believe that Dame, if he's going to want to leave Portland. See, I don't think Dame wants to leave Portland via free agency or, you know, demanding a trade. I think he wants to force the Trailblazers' hand. And by really not playing this year, I think he's starting the game of forcing the Trailblazers' hand. When I seen the Blazers trade Rocco and Norman Powell, to me, this was the Blazers fighting back. This was an okay, Dame, since you're not here, since you're not playing this year, we're going to get rid of some of this money that we're paying some guys and clear the cap. I mean, we're losing anyway. You're not here. You know, and again, I know that sucks for, you know, that Trailblazers fan base. They're worsening the product to prove a point. But that's what that is. You don't trade shooting in this league. So the games begin, y'all. Look, the games are beginning. And I don't think the Blazers are done. I wouldn't be surprised one bit if they move CJ McCollum at the deadline. I would tend to believe the only guy not named Damian Lillard that will not be traded at this deadline is Anthony Simons. I think if you watch the Blazers play over the last few weeks, they have been giving him more responsibility. They're allowing him to play point a little bit now. You know, he is the only untouchable piece at the trade deadline. I would not be surprised one bit if they find a deal for CJ McCollum to move off of him. Maybe it's with the Pelicans. We shall see. But the games are beginning in Portland, in Oregon, y'all. Y'all just pay attention. I'm telling y'all, they are playing games, both sides here. I don't think Damian Lillard wants to demand a trade. I think he'd rather the Blazers just say, we're moving on from you. Also, keep in mind, Dame wants an extension this summer, an extension that would pay him upwards of $50 to $60 million. Now, he wants a real 2-year extension. The Blazers seemingly are reluctant to give him that extension because they already got him under contract for 2 more years. Dame's like, look, if I'm going to be in Portland, I want the most money I can make. If I'm going to play here, I want to make bread. He's kind of doing it like Julio Jones did it with the Falcons for years. So we'll see what happens, man. I think it's a very interesting one that you're going to want to follow. Things are happening in Oregon that might have some big impacts on the league for years to come.